Hello everyone, this is Shikha Mishra. I am MTech in Computer Science. Today I am going to tell you about something about Python programming language, some basic introductions of Python programming language. Okay, so let's start with a small PPT which I have made. And now, before understanding about Python programming language, we must know what is a programming language, isn't it? Yeah. So what is a programming language? Programming language, it consists of two things. One is program, other is language. Now, what do you mean by program? Program is set of code, group of instructions, right? And what is language? Language is the mean of communication. Like just now I'm speaking to you in English, right? So this is English is the mean of communication. Similarly, to talk to a computer, a system, I need a language, right? So for that we need a programming language, right? So what is programming language? It is a set of instruction which is used to communicate with the computer, right? So there are various programming language like C, C++, Java, .NET. Nowadays we are using Python, right? So Python is one of the programming language. Python, it is general purpose, high level programming language. Now come to what is high level programming language. See, there are programming languages, they are of three kinds. One is low level, mid level, high level. Low level means all the instructions are written in binary format. It is very difficult to learn the upper code, the instructions in binary format, right? So what we do, we need a language which is human acceptable, right? So this Python, the high level programming language. In this way, we need a English like statement. We give English like statements, right? So it is a high level programming language, which can be used in various concepts, right? From various web development programs. Okay. This Python was developed by Guido van Rossum in 1991. Okay, this is a small history of Python language. Next, there are some features of Python. First one is it is very easy to use, very simple code. I will tell you some of the codes in this video also. Very simple codes, no syntax, very less syntax rules are there. Okay. Next is it is interpreted language. Interpreted. Now see, what do you mean by interpreted? There are two types of language. One is interpreted, other is compiled. Compiled means you, after writing the whole code, you will compile the program. If there is any single error, it will not go to the output wala screen. Okay. Okay. So in compiled language, the whole code is compiled at a time. Okay. Next, interpreted language. In this, the codes are executed line by line. Let us suppose I have written a 25 lines of code. Okay. So, and if there is any syntax error or any error in 15th or 16th line, okay, so it will execute the 14th line, give the output for that 14th line, and from where the error is, it will show the error. Yes, you have error from this 16th line. Okay, so it will show the output for first 14 or 15 lines, correct? So this is what interpreted language is. Means the lines are executed, compiled, given, the outputs are given line by line. Okay, so this is interpreted language. Like C, C++, they were compiled language. Okay, this Python is interpreted language. Next comes, it is cross-platform language. Cross-platform means, or you can say it is platform independent. Platform independent means what? Platform independent or cross-platform means it can be, we can run a Python program on any operating system, whether it is Linux, Windows, Macintosh, any operating system. On any operating system, we can run the Python program very easily, and the syntax for that is same. We need not to change the syntax for the other operating systems. Okay, less codes are written. It is very much expressive, and it have a wide range of libraries also. Not that it has lesser libraries as compared to C and C++. That is one of the disadvantage of Python, but it's okay. It has libraries. I will tell you what a library is again. Okay, so library means it has group of inbuilt functions. Okay, so it has wide range of sufficient wide range of libraries. Okay, next, it is free and open source software. Means while downloading a Python, you need not to pay. Okay, it is free of cost. You can download a Python ideally, or Jupyter, or any editor which is used by your school, free of cost. Okay, bache. Next, these are some features of Python language. Now comes to some shortcomings or disadvantage of Python. I have told you it has sufficient libraries, but lesser libraries as compared to C++, C and Java, .NET, etc. Okay, this is very slow language because it is interpreted. All the lines are compiled one by one, so it is very slow. It executes. The program is executed very slowly, right? Next is to download a Python. What you have to do, you have to go to the python.org. It is a two-step installation process is there. You have to go to python.org, downloads, go to downloads, and just download it. Click on that, run and execute. Okay, so this is two-step process. You can easily download ideally. I have ideally installed in my laptop. I will tell you how to use that. Okay, let me share my whole screen. Okay, now this is the ideally editor. In this we will write a program, a Python program. Okay, see, there are two modes of Python program. One is interactive mode and other is script mode. Interactive mode and script mode. This one is script mode, and when you go to file, you can write a single line code over here, and when you go to file, new file, here again editor, we will get a editor. We will write a program over here. We can save it with .py extension, save the file with .py extension, and easily run the code. Okay, so this is your one is your interactive mode and other is your script mode. Okay, this is your script mode, right? And the other one where you can get your output then and there only, that is your interactive mode. I will tell you how to write the program in both. Okay, interactive mode. When there is less number of lines, then you can use interactive mode. Okay, when there is a big file, you are using definitions and libraries, packages, etc. It is better you use, and you want to save your file. Okay, then you will use that script mode. Okay, yes. Now let's learn some syntax of the Python code. Okay, see, Python, we can do easy calculations. How? Let's check. Let us suppose there is a function called print. Print is used to print anything on the output screen. Let us suppose I want to print a name. Okay, so I will write it in single quotes, my name, like Shikha Mishra. Okay, and press enter. See, whatever I will write it under quotes, that will be displayed as it is. It will not check the spelling and all. Okay, but it will check the spelling of this print, the print ka spelling, and it is case sensitive also. Okay, and this bracket is mandatory. You can use single quotes or double quotes while writing something in print statement. Okay, Right. We can also do easy calculations in this. Print 5 plus 10. What I can do is, and just press enter, I will get 15. Okay. This is the mathematical calculation which we can do using print statement. Okay. Now see, this 5 and 10. This 5 and 10 are numbers, right? This 5 and 10 are numbers. This is called integer. Okay, so this is we can do multiplication, we can do division, we can do subtraction, and anything we want. Okay, next, this and whatever I write under quotes is called string. This is string. Okay, I will tell you about the data types and variable in details. Okay. Next, let us suppose I want to add two numbers. What I will do, add to, you understood. Next is, if I want to subtract two numbers, I can do like 10 minus 5. Okay. I want to multiply. We will use asterisks for multiplication, like 10 asterisk 5. Okay, press enter. This is 50. Right. So in okay, now I'm just going to tell you some more operators which we can use, like 10. For division, we use by. 10 by 5. Okay, so this is 2.0. Why it is coming 0.0? If I want integer number, then what I will do is I will write print 10 double by 5. In this, I will get only the integer part, only this one, not the decimal part, only the whole part I will be getting, right? Next one more operator is there, like print like 11 percentile 5. In this, I will be getting a remainder. We will get a remainder, like 1 is the remainder. Okay, after dividing 5 and 11, you will get 1 as remainder, right? So this percentile, this is called modulo operator. Let me write it, and everyone just note it in your notebook. These three things, this is for addition, this is for subtraction, this is for multiplication, this is for division. But in this, if there is, let us suppose if there is some decimal quotient, so we will get the result in decimal. Okay, next, in this, I will be getting only the whole part, not the decimal part will be truncated, and I will get the whole part. Okay, this is also a division, but if I will get the whole part, and this is the remainder. This is the, in this, I will be getting the remainder. After dividing 5 and 11, what you will get is, you will get 1 as a remainder. So this is remainder, and this is called modulo operator. Is it okay? Modulo operator. Okay. Next is, see, the variables which we are using, we can store these values, the values which we are using, we can store these values in some operators also, in some variables also, sorry, we can store this these values in some variables also, okay, for future use. For example, let us suppose I am writing a is equals to 5. A is equals to 5. Okay, now I will write print A. See, here the value 5 is stored in a variable named A. Okay, so this is what called variable. This is called variable. See, what happens is, whenever I like a statement like this, like A is equals to 5, or say C is equals to 10, in memory, a space is created. How much space is created? That is another story. So a space is created in the memory, and in that memory, whatever value we are assigning, that value is stored in that variable. Okay. Now in print statement, if I want to retrieve any value, Okay, so this value will be retrieved. So I will not write it under quotes. If I will write it under quotes, what will happen? It will not print the value. It will the value will be written as it is. Like if I am writing print quotes A, it will not retrieve the value of A. It will print A. Okay, and if I want to retrieve the value of A, I will write only A, not in quotes A. Okay, like let us suppose I am writing A is 5 and there is another variable B is, let us suppose 10, anything. Okay, and I am taking another variable C is equals to A plus B. What will happen here? Here A and B ka values are added and then it is stored in C. Done. And now I want to print the value. I want to write something like sum is equals to 15, something like that. What I will do, I will write sum is equals to in quotes, and then I want to retrieve the value of C, so I will write C, but not like this. I will separate these two things with this comma. See, is it okay? Now in next video, I will be telling you what a token is, what are the rules for writing identifier, what is keywords, and small terms I will discuss. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you. Keep watching.